Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That's HopOnBareMetal Part 11. And we are at the very beginning of the third day being here in the International Convention Center in Sydney for the OpenStack Summit. Hi, Andrew.
How's it going?
That's fine. Thank you for joining us. So at the we had a quick chat at the morning, and Andrew told me that the famous Matrix film was produced here in Sydney. So, Andrew, would you please share this story with us and with our audience?
Not a problem. Morning, everyone. Welcome to Australia. Yes, as I was talking to your colleague here, the Matrix was actually filmed at Fox Studios, which is about 5 kilometres in that direction. And many of the shots were actually produced in the city, which you can see behind us. Some of the most notable locations were the Westpac Bank building, where the foyer film was seen, where Trinity and Neo shot up all the guards, and also the trading floor of the Australian Stock Exchange, which one of the offices off that is where Neo climbed out of the building, which is actually called Australia Square. There were a lot of other small pickup locations filmed around the city. So if you watch The Matrix, you'll be getting a quick view of Sydney. And we'd hope you'd be able to come down and join us at some stage.
Oh, awesome. Andrew, but seriously, would you please tell us a little bit about the OpenStack and the scientific community in Australia? Is the technology popular in this sphere?
So we've got a number of research clouds in Australia based on OpenStack. The largest one is called Nectar, the National E-Research Cloud, which there are 7 sites around Australia spread around national facilities, particularly one in each state. Those sites are connected by multiple 10 gig networks, and we've done some really interesting stuff in terms of moving InfiniBand into the cloud, virtualizing InfiniBand so we can provide a complete HPC style experience operating within the cloud. All of this is OpenStack based. We've also got a number of other clouds at the National Computational Infrastructure. Our Tenjin cloud, which replicates our supercomputer facility with the same hardware, but provides cloud-based provisioning for smaller jobs that are more agile. We've been using OpenStack for about 5 or 6 years now, and it's quite prevalent within Australia.
Great. We'll mix serious and not serious questions. So, not serious question is related to Kangaroos, because as for me, it seems like kangaroo is a symbol, is probably the export version of the country, like bears related to Russia. Yeah, but you never faced bear on the street. The same thing here, but are there any places like national parks or stuff like this where you're able to see kangaroo and how these animals are placed in their regular life environment?
So, contrary to the popular opinion that we've all got kangaroos in our backyards, they are a very prevalent animal over here. Within the city, you don't see that many. You could go over to Taronga Park Zoo, which is just on the other side of the harbour, which I'd recommend that you take a ferry over there and check that out. Mm-hmm. It's a really great zoo. But if you have time, you need to get out of the cities a little bit, and you'll see kangaroos absolutely everywhere. We've got a big problem with kangaroos, like Americans do with deer, in that they have no road sense at all. They're not afraid of cars. So a lot of the motor accidents we have in Australia are from hitting kangaroos, and they're very big animals, so they really destroy your car badly. But yes, once you get out of the city, they are absolutely everywhere. And I think we've got about 88 different species of kangaroos, from small wallabies up to the really big ones.
Now the sort of a serious question. Have you any idea why, from your perspective, why the foundation decided to locate the most important event of the ecosystem here in Sydney this year?
I think it's fine time to actually bring this to Asia and the Pacific. Australia is geographically close to Asia, which means we have 2/3 of the world's population and effectively 2/3 of the world's market sitting on our doorstep. So Sydney's a convenient place to get to, and I think the thinking was we'd like to bring you all down and actually show you some of the highlights of our country as well as having a good conference.
Yeah, the location of the conference is very impressive and very useful. You're quite right, and there are a lot of people interested in the technology. But are there a lot of implementations of OpenStack in the local enterprises?
We're starting to see the adoption grow. The fact that we've got a number of local vendors here and particularly vendors that are working on trying to attract the government sector. We're starting to see more and more experimentation from some of the more conservative government agencies in terms of looking at using cloud-based solutions. Using OpenStack, though, provides these vendors with a unique differentiator over, say, Azure or AWS, in that they can actually customize for our local security requirements. They can tune it for what the workload is. But even though we're a geographically very large country, we've only got about 24 million people. So the market here is somewhat limited in terms of having a lot of business for OpenStack.
Mm-hmm. As you're from the world of universities, would you please tell us if there are a lot of students contributing into the OpenStack ecosystem?
We're just starting to see that pick up now. I think we're getting more and more students. So our Nectar Research Cloud is available for all students to spin up their own VM instances at no cost. So they're able to experiment quite easily. We're also trying to encourage the next generation to actually start moving into these technologies. One of the issues we face, though, is once we actually grow these people to a point of being really good at OpenStack, the commercial market comes in and offers them far more than we can afford in the academic sector. So we see ourselves kind of just growing the skill base and contributing in that sort of way.
Which projects inside the OpenStack ecosystem are more popular from the contributors' perspective?
I'm not sure of that. I'm more into the networking side of things rather than the implementation side. But I've seen a lot of work on Nova and Neutron, a lot of SDN work going in terms of Open vSwitch, some really innovative stuff in terms of the underlying network function virtualization. Seems to be where we've got some specialty contributors that are able to contribute in that area.
Probably you have heard is OpenV initiative is popular here.
Yep, indeed. So yes, our networking requirements are unique. Just the size of the country is the same. It stretches from Russia all the way down to the southern part of Spain and across to Greece, but with 100th of the population. So we've got long delays between our cities, and any collaboration internationally also imposes a very long network latency. So we need to be tuning our network stacks in slightly different ways if we want to actually collaborate internationally or run distributed cloud across multiple data centers.
That's very true. So, Andrew, thank you very much for joining us this morning and sharing your opinion, experience, and 2 wonderful stories about Matrix and the Kangaroo. Have a great day.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone. Catch you later.